Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a super affordable summer grunge look for you. I always start any makeup look with my Revolution Aqua Priming Base Water. I spray this evenly all over my face. I then go in with my Collection Illuminating Primer in Rose. This is really good to keep my skin looking glowy and dewy throughout the day, but still keeping my foundation in place. I like to massage this in quite deep into my skin, so I know that I'm getting the full hydration from this primer. I then go in with my Revolution Focus Fix Eyeshadow Primer. This acts as a good base before putting on my eyeshadow. So for this look today, I'm using the Revolution Eyeshadow Matte Forecast palette. I think this retails for around £6, but I got it in the advent calendar last year. For my base, I'm going to be using this sort of purpley taupe colour. I'm just going to apply this colour all over each of my lids, just to cover any blemishes or small veins that may be poking through. For my crease, I'll be using this dark brown colour. I've got quite hooded eyelids, so I want to keep this still quite light, but still enough to give a nice smoky effect. Lastly, I'm going to be using this light purple shade and pressing it on my lid from the inner corner outwards. This is to finish off my final look. For the tail of my brow, I'll be using this Rimmel dark brown pencil. I'd love to tell you which pencil this is, however I've had it for about 2 years and I've sharpened so far down that it has no label left. Sorry. For the rest of my brows, I'll be using the Revolution Duo Brow Pencil in Light. This is to create a more natural ombre effect on my eyebrows. To carve out my eyebrows, I'm using the Revolution Conceal and Define in colour C1. The great thing about this concealer is that if you do make a mistake, you can just use a quick spoolie and brush it out. If any of you guys are interested in the brushes I'm using for any of this look, they'll be linked down in the description. For my liner, I'll be going in with the NYX Vinyl Black Liquid Liner that you can find at any boot store. The only thing I would say about this liner is it can sometimes be a little tricky to work with, as you can see. I've made a few mistakes, so definitely would not recommend this as your first time liner. To fix up a few of those loose ends, I'm now using the Primark Felt Tip Liner. If you're looking to use a slightly more easier product when first starting out with your liner, I definitely recommend the Primark Felt Tip. I was recently introduced to the Prime and Bake Oil by Obsession. I use this to get rid of any dry patches on my skin to ensure a flawless finish with my foundation. Before applying anything else to my face, I always use the PS Lash Primer to make sure that my lashes are primed and ready for some mascara. For my foundation, I'm using the Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick in colour F2. To ensure my face has full coverage and to avoid any patchiness, I'm using a Real Techniques Damp Beauty Blender. I'm blending right into the hairline to ensure there are no patches missed. To conceal and highlight my under eyes, I'm going back to my Revolution Conceal and Define in C1. To bake and set the rest of my face, I'm using the Collection Primed and Ready Invisible Setting Powder and both sides of my temple. I pack it in densely to set my under eye and then use a thin layer to set the rest of my face. For my contour, I'm using my Primark Contour Palette in Light. I apply this to the hollows of my cheeks and both sides of my temple. If you're going for a more natural look with your contour, I definitely recommend this product. It's super pigmented and has a great payoff for the price. Now for my favourite part of the look. I'm using the Revolution highlighter in Golden Lights. It gives a super great glow and is still really affordable. For this look, I like to personally use quite a fair bit of highlight. However, if you're going for a more natural look, you can just keep to your cheekbones. To separate and lengthen my lashes, I'm using the Primark Lash Contour Mascara. And just to add a little bit more volume to my lashes, I'm then going in with the Maybelline Falsies Volume Express Mascara. To add a little bit more depth to my eye, I'm using the last colour I used on my lid to my waterline. To line my lips, I'm then using the PS Instagirl Lip Liner by Primark. I've got into the habit of slightly overlining my lips just to give them a more plumper look. For the lips, I'm applying a thick layer of NYX Lingerie Matte Liquid Lipstick. I think this deep purple is the perfect shade to set off any grungy look. Then, to ensure my makeup lasts all day, I evenly spray the Revolution Pro Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and make sure to subscribe.